Alright, we're back in it. Yo, if you want me to react to one of your videos, let me know. Anyways, let's get right into it.
What makes video games so unique. Even if the choice is as simple as jumping over a lava pit or shooting a demon, we're handed tools and forced to make decisions, and some games make those decisions totally impossible to decide. These are the video game decisions that made us sweat and forced us to think for a while. We're still doubting ourselves. Let's get started off with number 10. Not all choices in video games are as important as they seem, you know? Sometimes you're handed a bomb, and it doesn't really matter when you set it off. The story still works out the same way. And Saints Row 4 is kind of one of those games. One of the biggest choices of all time is given to us in the opening. After your character, the boss, becomes President of the United States, you're given the option to cure cancer or end world hunger.
Do you want to be the president who cured cancer or the president who solved world hunger?
You only get to choose one, so choose very carefully. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's too bad. The Earth just explodes within minutes of signing one of these documents. You've ended world hunger for like a grand total of 12 minutes. And even knowing that this choice doesn't matter, you know, we're still left to ponder it anyway. It's a dumb, goofy joke decision, but like you might actually sit there for a second and really try and decide. It took us a surprisingly long time for our first playthrough. Which choice offers the most good to the most people here? It's, you know, probably best not to think too hard about it. Unlike the next choice on our list at number 9, Baldur's Gate 3 pressures you with every moment with a terrible ticking clock. Eventually, the worm in your brain, you know, the mind flayer, is going to transform you and your friend into monsters, and there's nothing you can really do to stop it. The entire game hangs the sword of Damocles above your head, and we're all just waiting for the blade to fall. And in Act 1, a savior appears to offer salvation. Raphael, a devil, offers to help you every chance as you progress through the story. And we're all smart here. We know that making a deal with the devil is usually a really, really bad idea. Come on. But as complications pile up, plot twists appear, and party members are put through the ringer, we're finally ready to listen to what this dude has to say in Act 3. The devil is literally on your shoulder here. He's offering a hand when no one else is going to help. For signing a little contract, he'll give you a plot-important hammer that you'll absolutely need. Defying Raphael also has serious consequences. His House of Hope is one of the most elaborate and challenging locations in the game, and his boss fight, we talked about in a bunch of other videos, is arguably one of the most difficult in the game, making the choice even trickier. Do you want to fight a battle you can't win? Maybe you're better off just taking the deal. This is one choice we agonized over, but luckily, the game chooses for us by the end. Ripping up your contract, stealing the hammer, and fighting Raphael yourself is easily the most fun option. Next at number 8, some choices are bigger than just offering items. In Nier, the game asks you to sacrifice something much more tangible. After repeating the story of Nier multiple times, you'll reach a final choice. The game is going to ask you to delete your save file to save one of your friends.
You'll disappear from this world. Your sister, your friends, everyone in your life will forget you. You and any sign that you ever existed will be erased. But in exchange, Kaine will return to her mortal life.
What's up, you guys? I just got vegetable, fruits, these 2 briskets, all paid for with this card right here.
This is one of the cruelest choices we can think of in any game, because a save file isn't just a save file. A save file is like our connection to the video game, man. It's proof that we played and a marker for the time we spent. Like, a save file is personal, man. It's usually like untouchable territory. A save file is both, yeah, okay, kind of meaningless, but also deeply meaningful at the same time. It's the sort of thing we don't think about until we lose it. Nier is one of the biggest games to ever ask us to sacrifice our save. You'll need to run through the same scenario multiple times, learning the strange gestalts and discovering that the story isn't as straightforward as it seems. In the end, the only way to rescue your friends Kain and your family Yona is to sacrifice yourself, and the only way to do that in this game, yes, is to delete your save file. It's a supremely bittersweet ending, and one that interestingly pays off in a new way in the Nier Replicant remake. In the remake, there's a hidden fifth ending, one that is only possible after you delete your save file. So this is one sneaky game that retains data even after saving your game, because it will restore your last save if you progress through that fifth hidden path. For years and years, you really did have to sacrifice your save. In Nier Replicant, it's quietly beautiful that you'll get a second chance with your lost friends.
Are you all right?
Yona?
It was you, the one who helped me, I mean. Wasn't it? What's wrong? I mean, you defeated the Shadow Lord and everything, but you don't look happy.
I don't?
Next over at number 7, Lisa, the Painful RPG, is a weird game made by weird people. We've talked about this before. They were really cooking something crazy with this one. It asks you to sacrifice more than just a save file. As you play, you'll be ambushed and forced to choose between your arm or a party member. The villain will chop off your arm permanently or kill a party member forever, and you gotta decide. It's a hard choice, and one that's especially tough because the villain only targets active party members that are in your main party. You don't get to choose which party members are on the chopping block. You can't just throw them your weakest link. And then losing your arm is a permanent stat decrease. You'll walk around for the rest of the game with one arm if you choose once, and you can very easily lose both arms later. There are actually way too many ways to permanently lose party members in this game, really. You'll need to pass a game of Russian roulette by putting party members on the chopping block, and if you're lucky, you'll only lose a handful. Some enemies even have special abilities that will permanently kill your buddies. And even if losing a friend is tough, losing one or both arms takes away abilities, it lowers your total stats, and generally makes the game more annoying. But at least you can keep playing either way. Next over at number 6, The Beast is the rampaging threat you have to overcome to save humanity and stop this burning monstrosity from wiping out the human race. This is introduced like right in the beginning of Infamous 2, and it's just awesome. They show you images of this tall figure as he cuts a swath of destruction down the east coast of America, and you know that beating the Beast once he finally gets to you isn't gonna be easy. And the choice here is a cruel one. You'll have to choose to sacrifice yourself and every other conduit, or people like you, people with superpowers essentially, to stop the Beast, or you can wipe out humanity and ensure a future for just conduits.
John's method works. I've seen it. He might be the only way that anyone lives through this.
I don't care what happens to me. All I care about is that the Beast dies. You need to make a decision right now. Are you gonna kill the Beast? Be a man of your word.
Look, John's plan is not pretty. It's not. But it's right. The conduits are immune to the plague. He needs to make as many as he can before more of the sick die. Think about that.
Unlike choices in other games, you can't simply go with whatever morality choice you're feeling at the moment. You'll have to match the morality while playing the game. So if you really want to wipe out the human race for fun, you better start hunting innocent civilians in-game so you can turn bad. Man, I love the Infamous games. We gotta get more of those. Anyway, I digress.
You think you can fix it?
I better be able to.
All right. Let's do it.
This Chrome extension takes 5 seconds to set up and it blocks ads on your favorite website. It makes the ads just disappear. It's that.
Let me go! You are all gonna regret this!
She's gonna be in trouble.
We got bigger problems than that.
Next at number 5, another absolutely evil choice comes from the Creature of the Night simulator Vampire. As a newly born vampire, you're really hungry for blood. And in this game, drinking blood makes you more powerful. The more blood you drink, the more vampire powers you'll unlock on a skill tree. There's just one downside. You don't have to drink blood. Unlike other games about being a vampire, you're given the option to forgo drinking innocent blood completely. You can choose to reject your nature and drink no blood in this game. And that choice has consequences. If you don't hunt and kill the civilians and NPCs, you meet in Vampire and interact with, you'll severely limit your ability to level up. Fighting enemy monsters does not really grant experience, so if you don't drink blood, you'll be kinda underleveled and way weaker when you do face off against powerful vampire bosses and stuff. You'll really feel the squeeze for sticking to your morals in this game, but it is possible to win without consuming a single drop. We actually like not murdering innocent people, thank you very much, but by the end of the game, they make it pretty tough. It's challenging. We were pretty ready to bite into a few innocents.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Next down at number 4, Triangle Strategy is an underrated strategy game about a tiny nation surrounded by foes and embroiled in too many problems to count. If you've played Tactics Ogre or Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll know that particular brand of political turn-based RPG here, and the ending makes you choose one of 3 totally impossible choices. At the end of the game, all the problems have compounded and there's no way to solve them all. 2 nations are ready to invade your territory, and your allies have plans of their own. One wants to side with the most powerful nation in the east, surrendering their people and sacrificing a small minority of people for the safety of everyone else.
Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
Another challenger wants to ally with the North, the same people that murdered the father of a different guy. Look, it's complicated.
Ally with Aesfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
And then the last choice is all about leading the enslaved masses to a legendary place called Centralia.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
No one choice solves all your problems, and all are imperfect solutions. So imperfect that you'll permanently lose some of your biggest allies. There are major characters you've relied on for dozens of hours of gameplay here, and then they'll leave without a thought. Your choice at the end of Triangle Strategy determines your ending. And while there is a secret 4th ending, there is the kind of character connections we really craved in the base game. So forcing us to choose between 2 friends and its twisty final missions is pretty nuts. And the choices really never stop. So Reed is a world-weary and no-nonsense military.
The last 3, it was like Mass Effect and some other one. So, I guess we're out of here.